The best way to avoid hydroplaning is to A. Keep your tires properly maintained. B. Slow down when roads are wet or slushy. C. Watch out for standing water or puddles. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. When roads are wet, cars take a longer distance to stop and may skid on quick turns. Do not use cruise control when driving under wet or icy conditions. Reduce your speed and drive with caution. Drinking alcohol and driving is A. A minor traffic safety problem. B. A serious traffic safety problem. C. Safe if you have only had a few drinks. D. Only dangerous to the driver who drinks. B. A serious traffic safety problem. Driving while impaired or intoxicated is a serious traffic safety problem. Safe driving is not possible when you drink alcohol or take other drugs. Driving under the influence is dangerous both to you and to others on the road. Distracted drivers are at a greater risk of a crash when they are using which of the following? A. CD player. B. Radio. C. Cell phone. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. Using a cell phone, including a hands-free phone, or any kind of audio device, including a radio or CD player, can be a dangerous distraction and contributes to the risk of a crash. You are turning onto a two-lane road divided by a broken yellow line. You know immediately that A. You are on a two-way road. B. You are on a one-way road. C. The road is under repair. D. You must stay to the left of the broken yellow lines. A. You are on a two-way road. Yellow centerlines are used to separate traffic moving in opposite directions. Broken lines may be crossed to pass slower-moving traffic when it is safe to do so.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
A flashing red light at a railroad crossing means A. Stop. Do not proceed until signals are deactivated. B. Slow down and proceed if the tracks are clear. C. Proceed with caution. D. You have the right of way. A. Stop. Do not proceed until signals are deactivated. You are required to stop at all railroad crossings when a signal warns of an approaching train. These signals may include flashing red lights, a lowered crossing gate, a flagger signaling, or a train's audible signal of warning. Do not move forward or attempt to go around any gate or ignore any signal of an approaching train. It is against the law for anyone under the age of 21 to fill in the blank. Alcohol. A. Wear clothing advertising. B. Be in the presence of. C. Consume. D. Serve. C. Consume. It is against the law for anyone under 21 to buy or consume alcohol, have it in their possession, or have it in a vehicle that they are driving. Highway markings. A. Are usually not important. B. Are only found in construction zones. C. Provide information for drivers. D. Are usually red and blue in color. C. Provide information for drivers. Highway markings provide information for drivers. Markings help drivers correctly position their vehicles on roadways, inform drivers of safe passing zones, and warn drivers about upcoming conditions. If a traffic light at an intersection is broken or not functioning, you should A. Stop and wait for it to be repaired. B. Stop and wait for a police officer to arrive. C. Continue as if the intersection is a four-way stop. D. Continue as you normally would. C. Continue as if the intersection is a four-way stop. An intersection with a non-functioning traffic signal should be treated as a four-way stop. The posted speed limit shows A. Only a recommended driving speed. B. The exact speed at which you must travel to avoid a ticket. C. The maximum safe driving speed under ideal road and weather conditions. D. The maximum safe driving speed under all road conditions. C. The maximum safe driving speed under ideal road and weather conditions. A speed limit sign shows the maximum legal driving speed for the stretch of highway where it is posted. Driving safely may require you to travel more slowly than the posted limit. When conditions are less than ideal, drivers should slow down. When traveling more slowly than 40 miles per hour on a limited access highway, you should A. Drive on the shoulder. B. Use your high beams. C. Sound your horn to warn others. D. Use your four-way flashers. D. Use your four-way flashers. If you must drive below 40 miles per hour on a limited access highway, you should use your hazard four-way flashers to warn the drivers behind you. When driving through a work zone, it is a good safety practice to A. Drive closely to the vehicle in front of you to keep traffic flowing freely. B. Shorten your usual following distance by about 1/2. C. Turn on your cruise control. D. Double your usual following distance. D. Double your usual following distance. The most common type of crash in work zones is the rear-end collision. To avoid this hazard, it is recommended that you double your following distance as you approach a work zone. This sign means A. Curve ahead. B. Roadwork ahead. C. Merging traffic. D. No left turn. A. Curve ahead. Warning signs prepare drivers for upcoming road conditions and hazards and are usually yellow with black markings. This sign alerts drivers to an upcoming curve in the road. If a person under 21 years of age consumes alcohol but is not driving a motor vehicle, the penalty for a first offense is A 90-day driver license suspension and up to a $500 fine. B. A 6-month probation. C. A sentence to a corrections institution. D. Points on their driving record. A 90-day driver license suspension and up to a $500 fine. The minimum penalties for a first underage drinking offense are a fine of up to $500, plus court costs, and a 90-day suspension. If the rear of your vehicle starts to skid left, you should A. Steer left. B. Hit your brakes. C. Accelerate. D. Steer right. A. Steer left. If your vehicle starts to skid on a wet or icy road, look and steer in the direction you want to go. If the rear of your vehicle is skidding to the left, turn the wheel to the left. If the rear of your vehicle is skidding to the right, turn the wheel to the right. The top type of vehicular crash involving 16-year-old drivers in Pennsylvania is A. Single vehicle, run off the road. B. Being sideswiped on an interstate. C. Driving in reverse on a side street. D. Driving on the shoulder of a highway. A. Single vehicle, run off the road. The most frequent crash type in which 16-year-old drivers in Pennsylvania are involved is a single vehicle, run off the road crash. From 2009 to 2011, there were 2,293 crashes and 45 people killed. When no signs, signals, or police tell you what to do at an intersection, the law states: A. That drivers on the right must yield to drivers on the left. B. Nothing. There are no laws stating who must yield. C. That drivers going straight must yield to drivers turning left at the intersection. D. That drivers turning left must yield to drivers going straight through the intersection. D. That drivers turning left must yield to drivers going straight through the intersection. In the absence of signs, signals, or police instructions, drivers turning left at an intersection must yield to vehicles going straight. If your blood alcohol level is 0.04%, you A. are 2 to 7 times more likely to have a crash than a person who has not consumed any alcohol. B. are above the legal blood alcohol limit but fine to drive. C. can be very sure that you will drive safely. D. should drink plenty of coffee before getting behind the wheel of your car. This sign means: A. no U-turn. B. no left turn. C. no right turn. D. no turning. C. no right turn. This sign indicates that right turns are prohibited. Do not make a right turn at an intersection where this sign is posted.